Get W energy. You want to be fired up? You want to be fired up? You want to wake up in the morning, have tears in your eyes while you're working out in the gym because you just want to whoop ass? Get some W, baby. Get some W. So anyway, with that, let's get into our Bible reading tonight, which will be it's a protective one I feel like we all need right now. Let's see here, where are we at? It is Ephesians 6:10-17 from the Luther Bible. Finally, my brothers, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and having done everything to stand firm. Stand therefore with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, and with the breastplate of righteousness putting on, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In all circumstances, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Super strong. Very strong and very, very telling for the times that we're in right now. Oh, accidentally stole a pen from church. Look at that. So my church notes, they don't really follow much of the gospel. It's more my notes from what my pastor was saying and kind of what I was getting out of it. But kind of the area that some of this comes from is from Isaiah 6:5-8. So what would you do if Jesus walked into the room right now when you were face to face? Like Isaiah said, I am ruined, for I am a man with unclean lips, and my eyes have seen the Lord. So he took a hot coal and put it to his lips. The Lord took his guilt and sin and asked who he shall send to preach to the people. Isaiah volunteered himself. Instead of living in guilt, so this is like the metaphor of this whole thing. Instead of living in guilt, and Peter did the same. Instead of living in guilt or being insecure, he acted. He moved out of the guilt. Peter did the same thing in the New Testament. He slipped up again, denying the Lord, but didn't stay in that guilt, but grew to be a major leader in Christianity after the death of Jesus. He was forgiven, as you can be as well, and are. God sent his Son so we wouldn't live in the shackles of our sin. We ask to be forgiven, to turn away from what we've done. His grace is unfair because we don't deserve it, but he gives it to us regardless. Moses in Exodus shows us the freedom of God. He demands answers out of respect and love. We are his friends if we do as commanded by Jesus. From David to Moses to Abraham, he proves that freedom comes with trust. And that he does. I just want to say again, like I've been doing for the last week or two, is Lord, I want to pray over myself that you protect me and the listeners and all people involved as I read through all this evil. Help us see the meaning behind it all, and let us gain strength and knowledge from the information we're about to receive. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. With that, let's get into Israel news. Not really much of a difference from what it usually is, I guess. But first, the price of silver is up to about $88 again. Expect with all the tensions going on in the world and with the illegal tariffs that I'll get into here in a little bit, expect that number to rise drastically. So, escalating U.S., Iran, and tensions and potential military action. The dominant story involves Trump building up significant military forces in the region, including the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier group moving toward Iran amid stalled nuclear talks. Trump has signaled military options remain open if diplomacy fails, with reports of preparations for possible strikes potentially imminent. Israel is closely coordinating with the U.S., viewing the impasse as unbridgeable, preparing for scenarios including joint action. Joint action. Israel ain't going to war with nobody, dude. That's what we're doing. Iran's FM has warned of missile capabilities against Israel while protests in Iran continue, which are funded by the U.S. and Israel. Kind of like the BLM protests were funded by the government. Did I scrape up my? Oh no, I didn't. Israeli airstrikes on Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israel conducted intensified airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in eastern Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, killing at least 10 to 12 people. Yeah, they targeted the missile sites, weapons depots, and whatever. Why doesn't the Lebanese government get involved here? Why is a foreign nation? Why are you allowing a foreign nation to just bomb people in your nation? I don't think they are, actually. I really don't think they are. Anyway, ongoing Israeli strikes and truce violations in Gaza during Ramadan. Despite the ceasefire in place since late 2024, Israeli airstrike, I think that's late 2025 actually, but Israeli airstrikes and shelling continued in Gaza, killing at least two.
Why is the number 29 the most frequently drawn in Powerball? The Powerball has a dirty secret they never want you to find out.
Palestinians, two to several Palestinians in recent incidents, and pushing the post-ceasefire death toll over 600. These occurred early in Ramadan amid severe humanitarian conditions, food shortages, and displacement. Israel has cited threats from militants, while critics highlight breaches. Trump's Board of Peace held its first meeting on Gaza reconstruction. Not for the citizens that live there, but for the United States and Israel to continue the greater. Oh, yeah, geez, almost forgot. You don't believe me? See that picture over there? That is the Greater Israel Project, stemming from Syria to Iraq to Jordan to the King Salman Abadi's Royal Reserve. So basically, all the way down to it's part of Saudi Arabia, part of Kuwait, Jordan, Egypt. Yeah. So that is the Greater Israel Project. Let me pull you over there a little bit closer here. There you go. They wear the patch on their uniforms, the IDF do. That's a fun little added fact. West Bank land policies and de facto annexation concerns. Israel advanced measures for land registration in the West Bank, allowing claims as state land unless Palestinians prove ownership. Unless they prove ownership. How the fuck are they going to prove ownership when you destroyed everything that they have? How in the living fuck can they prove anything anymore? Because you stole that from them. And I guarantee you're not going to allow them into their clouds or whatever the fuck. I don't even know if they have, Apple iCloud or any of that. How are they going to prove it when you completely leveled Gaza? How are they going to prove it when, oh my God, dude. Ugh. Controversial U.S. ambassador remarks and diplomatic fallout. U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, traitor, sparked outrage with comments suggesting Israel has biblical historical rights. No, they don't. The fucking state of Israel was created by the Rothschilds after World War II. How do they just have biblical historical rights? Please explain that to me. Too much of the Middle East land drawing condemnation from Arab Muslim countries as violating sovereignty and international law. The U.S. stated remarks were taken out of context. And not to mention, Tucker Carlson went there to interview Mike Huckabee, and on his way home, he got detained and questioned about his interview with Mike Huckabee. And Mike Huckabee had Israel's back over Tucker Carlson's back. What fucking nation do you work for, Mike Huckabee? What nation? You're a fucking traitor, dude. Seems like everybody in government anymore is a traitor. Not just to the state of Israel, but over all of us. I'm not the only one enraged here. Let me show you what Owen Schroyer had to say here. Come on, don't have time for the side shit. Here, come on.
A sitting U.S. senator who's never seen a war he didn't want endorsed. This is who Trump endorsed. A sitting U.S. senator who's never seen a war he didn't want someone else to die in. And he's over in a foreign country saying, you know what, if American men and women have to die for Israel's interest, then that's worth it to me. I am disgusted. I am trying to maintain my heart rate right now. I am trying not to curse and rage through this microphone right now.
Yeah.
That is outrageous from Lindsey Graham. And it's just as outrageous that Donald Trump is endorsing it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and here's Lindsey Graham right here. See what a fun little side note on Lindsey Graham. Go on, I don't know, Twitter, go to Brave. I don't know. I'm sure Google has it censored because he's part of the problem. But look up Senator Lindsey Graham's ladybugs and all the testimonies for his ladybugs. They come from hookers, male and female. If you really want to know the gist of it, not only is he a fag, but when he hires female prostitutes, they peg him. So they take a dildo and, yeah. And that's who we have. This is the people that we prop up. When is enough enough? When do we stop? When do we just stop falling in line because hail Trump or hail whatever theatrical fucking actor is your favorite? Anyway, here's Mr. Ladybugs himself, Lindsey Graham.
Well, I think his plan is to replace the money of 3-point-something billion with an investment in new technology, rather than just writing you a check. Help the idea if he wants to create a partnership outside of the aid number. I like that idea. The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel.
The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel.
Planned here in Israel. I like that idea. The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel. The wars of the future are...
Yes, they're being planned here in Israel because Israel is going to be the capital of the New World Order, the capital of the new AI-dominated surveillance state, nation, or world state.
And the minorities that fought back.
And here we go.
Blacks, the gays, the women, they fought back. And what we have to do as Jews, both here in Israel and the various Jewish communities around the world, beginning with the United States, is to fight back. Silence will not help.
Oh yeah, fight back, huh?
There it is. There it is. It's all woke. The LGBTQ movement.
I'll just let Owen say it.
The Black Lives Matter movement. Woke. The women's rights movement. Woke. And now there it is. The Israel First movement.
Woke.
Woke. Right there. It's all out of the bag now. And the minority.
Yeah.
It's all out of the bag now.
That it is, Owen. It is all out of the bag. And most of America's too fucking stupid to see it. Too worried about all the other bullshit. Too worried about their sports team, and yeah, I know. I started the show off with a little bit of goy slop. Oh, where's that ad tablet? I know. I partook in a little bit of goy slop, okay? But it feels good to have a little bit of that old faith in the system. You know, the patriotism. Damn, I used to be fucking proud to be an American. I love this country. I still do. I love this country. That's why I do this. That's why I fight. That's why I expose.
Want to know why the diabetes industry is trying to ban apple cider vinegar? You probably have it at home, and it's making their $22 billion profit disappear. Give me
all this bullshit. But damn, watching our people win on the world stage and praise God and praise this nation. That you can't beat it, dude. You just can't beat it. You just can't beat it. And maybe it was all set up and fixed, whatever. Ah, shit, you can't even see that. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull you up there. This is on, I believe, Reddit. I don't know, something like that. I'm just gonna read it for you. This comes from Harrison Smith, the great Harrison Smith at Infowars. Every day from 2 to 5 p.m. at band.video. If you live in FEMA Region 8, the west part of FEMA Region 8. Mountain time, okay? Anyway, from the CIA, Anonymous ID. I posted yesterday with a 36-hour timeline. We are now in the 24-hour window. Look for a significant number of Iranians' leadership to be exterminated. The leadership of Iran is made up of a secret council of 22 military and political leaders who meet regularly in a bunker in Tehran. One of their members is a Mossad agent. Needless to say, this group goes first. Israel knows after the last few years this is the time to end this shit show, and tactical nukes will take out most of Iran's missile infrastructure in the first strike. Tehran will go in the first wave with a false flag attack set up for Israel to kick things off. Cheers. And in response to that, still from Anonymous ID, of course, it's Reddit or 4chan. I think it's 4chan. This looks more like 4chan. But Venezuela was a test for what is happening in Iran. A large part of the Iranian military and leadership will be vaporized in the opening salvos. Israel will use tactical nukes to take out Iranian missiles and their bases. We are about T-minus 3 days now. I mean, thank God we did not reach that because that was on the 17th. We're at the 22nd now, so we're at 5 days. So, I mean, maybe we escaped it, or maybe the alarm bells should be going off even harder than they were before. So anyway, that's going to lead us off into the Epstein shit. I'm not going as deep this week as I have exposed it the majority of my shows last few weeks. But I must say that unless we start seeing arrests, you know that this is all just smoke and mirrors. Real arrests, real trials. I mean, I'll get into Howard Lutnick right at the end of this whole thing, but anyway, let's go here. Work phone. Let's go to work phone. I don't have anything on here, do I? Nope. Oh, yeah. Let's start right here. Painting reveals a lot. From a painting by Maria Farmer. Let me pull you in a little closer on this. Of course, if you're watching on Rumble, remember, you can click the chat right down there. You can get involved. Send me a message. Okay? Get involved. This is supposed to be, I'm trying to get everybody in on this shit. Okay? I don't care how much I pre-plan or whatever. Somebody has something to offer. All right, there we go. So, Jess Staley, the man depicted in the painting by Maria Farmer. Jess Staley is an American banker, and this was found in Jeffrey Epstein's New York apartment. He's an American banker, 34-year career working for J.P. Morgan, referred to Epstein as family. Oh, jeez. Forgot I run that from here. Good job, Vinny. The painting of, looks like a young teenager. And this comes from Redacted, of course. Of course it's fucking Redacted. That ain't no victim. You're not redacting victims' names. You're redacting the people that fucking did it. And bragging about it. But anyway, from Redacted to Jeffrey. The Snow White was fucked twice as soon as she put her costume. Look at that. Yep, blood on her face. Right? Blood on her face. Beating her. The money in the painting says J.P. Morgan and Chase. The little tag on the side says Louise Frey, I Mill. Former director of FBI, ignored and mishandled initial reports made about Epstein. Imagine that, right? They're all fucking involved. Louise Frey's eyeball. That's what it is. It says willing participant on the underwear. Or the skirt. Money to sell victims to Epstein and his associates.
Noise is happening.
Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute, huh? You know what? I'm going to keep you up here for all this. Let's see. I'm already in tablet, so let's go to work phone. You're going to see some things that I'm going to get into a little later here. Kind of doing garbage time here. I'd rather that. Oh my god, it's not garbage time, I guess, but wasted time. You know, for the clips, I gotta make sure that I stay in here. All right, let's see here. I'll get into that later. That later. Okay, nothing on work phone. Let's see here. What I got? Yeah, so in pictures. Damn, I hate wasting time like this. The AI just loves to clip all the shit where I'm sitting here scrolling. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better. Here we go. Marina Abramovic, 73-year-old spirit cook for the Hollywood cannibal elite, was Michael Maxwell, Robert Maxwell's son. Robert Maxwell, Israel Mossad, was also Ghislaine's Maxwell's father. Michael Maxwell, Marina Abramovic, fathered Stefani Germanotta, who we know as Lady Gaga. Ghislaine Maxwell is Lady Gaga's biological aunt. I mean, take it for what you will. I know. Kind of hard to prove all that. I understand that. But okay, so that's not one. Here's a fun one. Under the interview of Redacted on 8/12/2019. Here with Epstein's body and had secured the scene. Redacted remained with Redacted and Redacted until personnel from the Office of Chief Medical Examiner.
I almost gave up on my dark circles, wrinkles, and saggy skin until a 15-second routine changed everything.
Arrived to transport Epstein to their facility. Due to the large news media presence outside the MCC, a male OCME official called and said he would be arriving at the loading dock with a black vehicle in order to thwart the media. Redacted, Redacted, and Redacted used boxes and sheets to create what appeared to be a human body, which was put into the white OCME vehicle with the press, which the press followed, allowing the black vehicle to depart unnoticed with Epstein's body. And this is in the Epstein files. Let me see if I can find the numbers I can, or the document citations I can see is OA-NY-31512227. So go into justice.gov/Epstein and search that. Take note. Everything I go over, any name I name, take notes. Take better notes than me. I mean, I got fucking months of notes here. Okay, not all of them relate to Epstein, but it would really help if some more people would, take notes of the names. Remember the names? I just named probably 5 of them in that painting, or 3 of them in that painting. Every little thing, folks. Every little thing. One by one by one by one by one. We wake people up. We show them the names. We give them the documents. They can't look the other way. They can't be hoodwinked in not worrying about it. All right. Anyway. Here's a fun one. This is Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. This comes from Lisa Rossi. Subject: Rising Star to Jeffrey. Dear Jeffrey, we are thrilled to announce we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, one of the rising stars in the New York congressional delegation, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack. He is a staunch supporter of President Obama. Hakeem is committed to electing, oh my God, a Democratic majority in 2014 and is encouraging his friends to participate in the DSCC fundraising dinner with President Obama this coming Monday night. Shoot us an email or give us a call at whatever if you would like to get involved with the dinner or would like to get an opportunity to know Hakeem better. He is an impressive guy who will be a progressive voice in New York politics for years to come. Thanks, Darren Rigger, Lisa Rossi, and Walter Sweat. Hakeem Jeffries is only about, yeah. If you're looking to knock Hakeem Jeffries off message, you won't get very far. There's a hip-hop song, Every Day I'm Hustling, and I kind of feel that way down here in Washington, Jeffries said in a positive manner, of course. So his people got the message and forwarded it to Epstein from Leslie Groff. Was the subject, forward rising star, said importance high. Begin forwarded message. So Hakeem Jeffries, his campaign, it doesn't matter. It was after they already knew he was a pedophile. And Hakeem Jeffries and his people reached out to the evil adrenochrome, child raping, whatever. It's fucking disgusting, folks. This is why I'm not going to cover it so much tonight. It's a lot. But listen to this voicemail a woman left the FBI years ago in regards to Epstein Island and Zorro Ranch. She was a hero then and is a hero now. This is from the great Owen Schroyer.
Hi there. I am calling from Florida. I grew up in Palm Beach. And I'm calling with regard to the Jeffrey Epstein case as to why there hasn't been a search of all of Mr. Epstein's properties, especially now Zorro Ranch, Grand Peto Island, the other islands he purchased in the U.S. Virgin Islands, his offices in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and his boats and other properties. He has been known to possess child pornography, pictures of children, and other criminal evidence that's been collected. Why has this not been done? This is mainstream media outrage that your office has been more than a day late and $1 short in securing the evidence from the property.
Really get that even closer.
When his estate
that's the right thing to
why
do.
have these properties not been seized? This is my question for you. I take this very personally, having grown up in Palm Beach and having lived there. My phone number is. You want to discuss this further? People think that you're corrupt. Just so you know that, if nobody told you that today, we think the FBI is a criminal enterprise.
We got the point on all that. Let's see here. 2 picks. Oh yeah, I already got that. And this is a fun one. If you have a Twitter, you have an X, go to the Epstein Files on X. Here you go. We got Epstein admits he gets children for sex sent to his island. From Jay to Masha Drakova. Your friend Eliza told me about the project she is doing, researching a really bad guy that gets children for sex sent to his island. She almost fainted when I told her that person is me. On Friday, Masha Drakova wrote, Katya has a law firm, corporate law. She also understands blockchain regulations and ecosystem well. Eliza is film director. She's working on human rights VR movie. Alexandra is an actress and art expert, has business ideas. All of them are smart, high energy, and great. Please note the information contained in this communication is confidential, maybe attorney-client privilege, may constitute inside information, is intended only for the use of the addressee. It is the property of Jeffrey Epstein. Authorized use, disclosure, whatever. So we can go, here we go. Breaking, Bill and Hillary Clinton are scheduled to give sworn testimony within days about Jeffrey Epstein to the House Oversight Committee. There's your chance to save your soul, Bill Clinton. There's your chance. You go in there, you start naming names, you start telling them what you and your fucking whatever that is did. You might be able to be salvaged. People might actually even celebrate you. You stand up there, you have the nuts, you have the gumption to stand there and tell them everything you and your fucking wife did. and bring it all down. So that they might even off you in court, and then the people fucking know. Then everybody knows that it's all set up. I beg you, Bill Clinton, with your mind probably going, maybe you're getting closer to death. You're starting to have a little bit of regret because you know you're going to go to hell. This is how you save yourself.
Look what just came in the mail. I am so excited. This is the Trump Gold Bundle 2.0 from Patriot Addict, and it is even better than the original. I've been wanting to get these for my family as gifts.
This is how you save yourself. Anyway, I'll do one more here. Then we'll move on. From Jeffrey Epstein to Redacted. Redacted wrote, there were quite a few things that were known parts of our lives that we never discussed in writing. I can't convince you of what you said, but your interpretation of past events and emails is different from mine. While they may not confirm the existence of your promise, they certainly don't disprove it. Maybe you forgot, maybe you didn't mean it, but it doesn't change the fact I lived for years under the impression that my future was safe. I can't go back 10 years and change my decisions. I don't know what to do with that information now. When I met you, I wouldn't accept any money from you. You used to sneak $100 bills into my fake Louis Vuitton purse. As time passed, you made me believe it was okay to accept it, expect it, and be able to feel safe. It was not my idea. It was very uncomfortable for me, and I would never come up with such a deal or ever ask you for money. It was only after years of you making all kinds of voluntary promises and commitments that I started to believe it was okay and I could rely on your support. You made many unusual offers. You offered to buy my baby 6 months into our relationship. Let me repeat that. You offered to buy my baby 6 months into our relationship. And 6 years later, you offered to support my next boyfriend. Do you remember that? It's probably not in any emails either, and I understand nobody would believe it. This was in 2013. And Jeff said that would be arguable, except for the fact that, again, it is not like a contrary position does not exist. It exists over and over. Yes, you didn't like taking cash, but took everything else. What's that supposed to mean? Man, this guy's a sick motherfucker, dude. Oh, and where is Howard Lutnick? Oh my, where did I have Howard Lutnick? Good lord, dude. Come on. There we go.
The notary to the deed of what was both
Lauren Witzke on X
at 11 East 71st Street, because yes, Epstein owned that property before Letnick owned that property. It was transferred to Epstein for just $10 in 1992. Epstein passed the deed to a Comet Trust in 1996, again for just $10, of which a Leo Goldman was a trustee, the son of one of the founders of the World Jewish Congress. And then it was passed to Letnick in 1996 for, again, just $10. Who notarized the deed transferring this property from Jeffrey Epstein to the Comet Trust in 1996? A Gary Pollard. And Gary Pollard just so happened to be in the perfect spot at the perfect time to
during
record
9/11.
the perfect shot of the South Tower collapsing on September 11th, 2001. Is it just a weird coincidence that Jeffrey Epstein and Howard Lutnick owned 911 East 71st Street?
Lord knows they like their numbers. They definitely love their numbers. They always use their numbers. So anyway, with that, I'm going to get into tariffs. I got to keep that up there. There we go. All right, tariffs. Speaking of Howard Lutnick's alleged, I gotta say alleged, or else they'll sue me for money I don't have. Pedophile-loving ass. The man that was behind the tariffs caught lying about his relationship with Epstein. A company called Cantor Fitzgerald, ran by Howard Lutnick's sons, who convinced Trump to do the tariffs, have been buying for 25 cents on the dollar owed tariff refunds. Meaning, as we, the American people, face even higher prices because we have to pay those fucking tariffs back now. So the tariffs already raised our prices. Now it's going to raise it even more so that we can pay it back. We, the American people, face even higher prices. This probable pedophile's family is getting rich on the policies their father knew wouldn't work. The administration of getting your family rich at the expense of the American people